Hello everybody, this is Mike here at Rafter Training Stables, Thayer, Missouri. As y'all know through some of my previous videos, we sell trail horses. That's our business and that's what we specialize in. I've done some videos and talked about show horses and show horse people, and I don't want anybody to think I'm against show horses. That's just not what we do for a living. We sell trail horses. And I don't have the talent to get a show horse ready to go. Now, nor do I want it because I'm already in my own deal. What we have here is a horse named Causing Chaos, is his name. And this is May. Last September at the World Show, I was ring-steered one night and saw this horse go. He's a very nice gaited horse. He's very forward and all that, and he has been typically show trained all of his life. And so me and Joy talked about it, and what we're going to do is put together a set of videos on this horse and let you watch bringing this horse from the show pen to the trail. And what I'm trying to say is I don't want everybody to think that it's really easy to come from the show pen. She sat there and rode this horse with 300 people around. You know, at a showgrounds with golf carts running and everything. Will the horse ride? Absolutely he'll ride. But he doesn't ride what we want a trail horse to ride like. So what we're going to do is kind of strip this horse down and put the fundamentals on him. This is what I've been preaching and preaching and preaching. And it happened to us this weekend. A filly I started has been hauled and rode 1,000,000 miles the last 2 or 3 years. And we get up there on the trail ride and she gets pushy and all this stuff. And we talked the lady through it and trained the lady. And it didn't take a half a mile down a gravel road doing the things that we had instilled in the horse 2 years previously for the filly to drop her head and start walking and staying with the rider. On these show horses, when they train these, they want them up on the bit and going somewhere. They want them covering ground. A lot of you trail riders out there want that too, but it's going to have to be soft because we've got rocks. We've got all this stuff that we have to deal with. Rocks, logs, creeks, you name it. Our horses have got to be broke where they're not only thinking about going forward, they've got to be thinking about us. And in order to get these horses to think about us, we have got to put the fundamentals on them. You don't learn the ABCs by skipping A, B, C, D, E, F. You've got to know A, B, C, D, E, F, or you can't do the alphabet. And these horses are the same way in the fundamentals. The fundamentals. And I'm going to show you right here. The number one thing that I put on these horses is the flex. Is get these horses to flex. Now, I haven't tried it, but I know how he's been trained. This horse does not flex. And I'm going to prove it to you right now. Just make a liar out of me every single time. Now, he's not given yet, and he's pulling on my hand. There, did you see that nose slightly come in and get off my hand? And I released it. You know, we're in the teaching mode. Don't get excited. Just sit here and pick this back up and ask for just a hair more. See, he's pulling on it. There. See there? Take your time with him. This not only goes for show horses, this goes for any horse that's been kicked out. When they got done showing in September last year, this horse went home, got shoes pulled off, and we picked him up, Joy, coming back from Oklahoma. We got him 2 weeks ago, and I haven't done nothing to him. You can tell he's still got his winter coat on. We just scraped a bunch of that off. And then we're leaving again next week. You see, looky here. See right there? And I will say this. There's a couple of performance trainers, show horse trainers, that I love to ride after. And I'm not going to call no names, but they're very good in what they do. and especially this deal, I get a lot of horses from this one show barn. And I love to ride after the trainer that trained this horse. He doesn't do what I want, but yet he gives them a small foundation, something that I can work with. So that's what I'm saying. Don't overthink. I think all these performance trainers are bad, because they're not. There's 2 or 3 good ones out there. It's just there's a lot of others that are not. Now see here? See how he moved his hip around? And see, a lot of times, this is what I want you to see. There. You know, I had to pull on him a little harder there. He was doing real good. But you'll be training a horse along and everything going great, and then all of a sudden it all just comes unwound. Don't ask me why they do that. But they do. But the main thing is, keep your heart rate down. Don't get excited. And wait. Just wait on these colts to figure things out. Right there, I just saw my snap drop just a little bit. He come on in again. And these are just some of the things. I'm not done on this side. I'm hoping he'll fight me on the other side and let you see it. I can't believe he won't. And you can see right there, he's not really wanting me on this side. Get trying to move around thinking, why are you over here? Now let's see what happens whenever we get this. And see, I'm just barely pulling. What happens is everybody comes in here and they'll get a hold of this rope and give it a good hard pull. And whenever you give it a good hard pull, you're going to get good hard resistance. You know, what you're doing is somewhat just leading this horse. You're leading him with your rein here, right here. Just the softest as you can. See right there, he's kind of hung up. I go ahead and pull a little bit. There we go. Looky there. We just touched the side. So you'll find, and like the owner told me, he's charging. In other words, he's going forward. He's trying to get over the bridle and going forward. These simple exercises that we're going to film here me doing is going to help slow all that down. Why? Because we're going to soften the chin. We're going to soften the pole. We're going to soften the neck. We're going to soften the rib cage. We're going to get this horse thinking about us, staying with us. So whenever you start this, and every time we get ready to shoot one of these videos, I look for a horse that's going to give us trouble. That's why I just pulled this one out of the stall, thinking, okay, he'll give me a lot of trouble. And unfortunately, now see right here, I'm asking him, and what's he doing? He's walking around. What am I doing? There you go. I knew he'd give me trouble if I just kept it up. See right here. What you got to do is just keep that pressure right there and move with him. And wait until that head comes around. Right there. I felt all the weight come off my hand. And when you feel all that weight come off your hand, release it. Because that's whenever the little feller's going to learn. Here's another. Come here. See there?
And in the video, they can see that the rib cage, when you're on the side you were on, the opposite rib cage shoves out.
You want to know why? Because this rib cage is bending in. You're softening the rib cage. See, look at me. This here's bent in, this here's pushing out. I come back this side here's out, this side here's in. That's where you're wanting your horse when you ride him. You know, you don't want him sitting here doing this. If you're wanting to go that way, I don't want him sitting here staying in this position. I'm wanting him to go ahead and give this bend his rib cage and come on to the left. Or in this position, I want him to go to the right. Now, see, he can't really go to the right as long as he's pushing that rib cage out here. These are the simple things that a lot of people don't know. Is this right here. Guys, when you're doing this with these horses, your ultimate goal is to be soft here. In other words, the horse is not pushing out this way on the bit. You want them here in the pole where their head gets like this. You want this neck soft where you can bend here. And whenever you bend here, you're going ahead and getting the shoulders, the ribs, see everything else. See right there's a little bit of resistance. So what I'm going to do is just sit here hold it until he stops. And I'm going to pull that head on around. And you can see this rib bending out that way.
Yeah, we could really see it when we were head on too.
Yeah. See right here? See if you move
Yes,
that before we get behind.
I did. You could for a second.
But you know, these are just the things that's your ultimate goal. And we're going to be working on getting this hip broke loose. You know, we want to be able to move this hip wherever we want to. And you're sitting there probably thinking, why do I want the shoulders and the hips broke loose? I kind of understand the ribs. You want the hips broke loose because whenever we lope, I've got to put his rear end in position for him to lope off and get a really pretty lead departure. Instead of sitting here, and you've all seen them, somebody's wanting to lope and they'll go in a really fast, hard trot 3 lengths of this barn before those horses break over and start loping. What we're going to do with this horse is get him where we cue him with our foot and he just lifts up and breaks over and lope in one step. And it makes a really nice, rhythmic, very comfortable lope, you know. And whenever you get that, then your trot's going to be smoother. Your walk's going to be better. And it's going to go back to this here too. And you all have heard me on some of my videos, on the bit video. On these gaited horses, everybody's wanting to work on the gait. Now, you pick up the breed brochure on this horse right here. They're going to tell you he has got the smoothest, most natural gait of any horse out there. Missouri Foxtrotting horse. Okay, looky here. He's starting to flex, and I ain't even pulling the rope. And they're going to tell you that. So if that's the case, if his genetics are telling him to do what we want, why do I need to work on the gait? You know, I'm dealing with God there. God's got him where he needs to be to gait. But here's the problem. It's called stiffness. It's called resistance. You've got to get the stiffness and the resistance out of these horses. If you'll get them soft, supple, and light, the gait is going to come to the top because he is not pushing against you. You know, it's kind of like you sticking your head up like this and trying to walk on a rocky field. Chances are you're going to fall down because you ain't got your head down looking where you're going. How many times have you seen these horses going around somebody just a-pulling like hell and their nose is sticking up here and they're just a-flopping around? That's called resistance. They're not watching where they're going. You got to get them heads back down here. See? And doing these common exercises is what's going to help get you there.
Balance.
So what it is you saw the first lesson on this horse that has come strictly out of the show pen his whole entire life. He's what, Joy, 7, 8 year old? And what we're going to do is change his career and give him a job now as a great trail horse. And what you just saw right here was the first step. So anyway, keep watching. We're going to shoot more videos and get him up to speed here and let you all see what we're going to do.